welcome to the RG DFS Tournament Takes podcast. I'm your host, Chris Kirkwood, Kirk Keys. I am a little, not going to lie, I've been up late. I was up late for UFC, so I needed that woo is to wake me up. But what's going on? We're here for week 12 now. All the way. I mean, man, this feels like we've been doing football for a long time. Feels like now, but we're just getting in the groove. I'm here with my usual two co-hosts. We got the one, the only, the man, the myth, Notorious. What's going on? Derek Farnsworth.
What's up, boys? Coming off a good week 11. So, yeah, pumped for this week. And as TJ said before the show, happy 4K week a quarterback on DraftKings.
Oh, God. You're just all riled up, huh?
Just ready. I mean, come on.
Big Bobby Bitcoin. What's happening? Bitcoin is crushing. I hope you still have some.
We have it. We're living large for right now.
See with the couch, the piano in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, with my new house because of Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't know. It's been an interesting week. I didn't ship Showdown on Thursday. Wish they could have followed it up, but didn't get it done. So yeah, ready to talk some 4K QBs.
So can we officially adopt the Kid Showdown name or no?
No, I'm not that good at Showdown. There are much better DFS players at Showdown than me.
Oh, stop it.
Deserve that title.
Not on this show, so.
Yeah, stop it. All right. Crazy week here. We only have 10 games. Not a ton of high totals. Got a couple of good games, seems like, potentially. Man, last week the key was to just as many Detroit Lions as you could get in your lineup. You were golden. But it's kind of hard. We kind of have tight pricing again, but we do have some relief if you want to do the little dumpster diving with the 4K guys and whatnot. But
did you see how many Lions were in the Millie Maker lineup?
Yeah, it was like 6 or something. It was like
I was going St. Brown. Like if I went St. Brown over McCaffrey, I'd have won the Millie Maker by 11 points. And so I was like tracking it very, very closely. But the winning team had Goff, Montgomery, Gibbs, St. Brown, Jameson, Wright,
and then
Lions defense.
Yeah.
7.
And what was the name? It was probably like Lions fan 4.
Probably, I don't know. I didn't
know. It was circling the drain.
Oh,
was it?
CRC did
CRC is good.
CPC member,
CRC. So him and Squid won last week. Squid won the high dollar one. It was last Sunday was the
wait, and did I read it right? So that was the low dollar one that he won, and he only had like 5 entries or something.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah,
just like so that was like a hand built, a nice bat, like a nice toilet build.
Do you know what he built? Do you know what he bought right after he won, Kirkwood?
No, I do not.
Bitcoin.
Oh wow,
nice.
Nice. He bought at the top.
Nice. 95, I think.
All right. Let's take care of some ad reads and we'll go right into everything. So let's so I don't forget them. Let's talk about RG Combo. DFS is all about value. This is the busiest time in sports calendar, which means it's the perfect time to sign up for RG Combo. For a limited time, get your first month of combo access for just $79.99. That's just $5 more than NBA Premium. Don't pass up this great value. And we're going to go back to the Listener League. We got the RG NFL Listener League again. Get in there, join us, play us. Each week, you can play alongside us and as well as a lot of other viewers and hosts. You'll have a chance every week to compete for first place and win yourself a month free of RG Combo Premium. So check out our description for an invite to the contest. All right. Let's get back on track here for the slate. We've got 10 games. Detroit leading the way with the highest total. Detroit minus 7.5 at Indy, 15.5 point total. Arizona minus 1 at Seattle, 47.5 point total. New England at Miami, who's their 7.5 point favorites of the 46.5 point total. And then we got Dallas at Washington. And Washington's 10.5 point favorites over the Chops horrible Cowboys. with a 45-point total. What I always like to do from here is look at Thorman snaps and pace over at ETR, and then cross-reference that with Cardi's blitz, most plays, just so we know which games we probably want to target from a play perspective. And those are Thorman snaps and pace has Detroit at Indy, Arizona at Seattle, New England at Miami, Dallas at Washington. Cardi's got Dallas at Washington, Detroit at Indy, Arizona at Seattle, and then the only one off the board that he has is Denver at the Raiders. So I'm excited about the slate, but big picture overview for you, Noto. How's the slate looking?
Yeah, I don't love a lot of the games for stacking purposes. I think my favorite stack would probably be Patriots-Dolphins. If we can get something from Drake May in that passing game, I think the Dolphins are going to put a point here. So that's probably my favorite. I just don't feel great about a lot of the other games. But, yeah, the story for me is going to be pay down at quarterback on DraftKings. You got, Allen, you got DeVito, you got Anthony Richardson, who's popping in all the projections. And then on FanDuel, I kind of want to get as much exposure to the Sunday night game as I can.
Question for you. For the New England Miami game stack, you going to slap that booty in your lineup again?
Who was that about? I keep forgetting.
Booty? The
Oh, I thought you meant the joke you made about the towel.
No. This is putting booty in your lineup again.
I mean, he's still running routes. He's still getting air yards. He just needs to catch a few of them.
Yeah. Bobby, what's happening? How are you liking this slate?
I never like when there's 4K QBs on a slate because then you actually have to consider playing them. But yeah, not a ton of value. I like Kyler. I'm also interested in that New England and Miami game, but I think Kyler Murray is talking with Blender yesterday. He seems like a very interesting guy to start your teams with at the quarterback position. Slate's tough for value. When you brought up the Detroit thing, like their team total was 4 points higher than everyone else's last week. And Dean was like, you have to play at least one Detroit player on every one of your teams, right? Or you're going to make that rule. And I don't make that rule. So I didn't get a ton of, I had like the Gibbs and Montgomery, but I didn't get Goff and St. Brown and all those other guys. So
credit to me for Montgomery was my favorite play in the running back position last
Well,
week.
he's your favorite player in the league, right?
Exactly. He's one of them. I loved it because all the slappies put him down for years, like the same way they did Todd Gurley. They're like, this guy sucks, but it's really because he was with a crappy coach and behind no offensive line. And I kept steady with like, no, Montgomery is actually good. And so I
was on that train with you. Like I always thought he was serviceable, and now he's behind the best offensive line in the league and the team is good. So yeah.
All right, let's do what we always do. Let's start the running back position, head over to quarterback, line it up for our stacks with some wide receivers, tight ends, talk a little defense. No UFC this week. We'll build a lineup at the end for our listener league, and maybe go off the rails a few times on the show. Shout out to all the chat members just filing in here. Some Eric Johnson's always here. Good to see you, buddy. What's the lowest total game on the slate? Because that's who he's going to like. What is that? Let's see here.
He's going to like the Carolina Panthers. He's probably going to have some Bryce Young.
Panther stacks. Yeah.
Panther stacks.
I can see it now. But welcome, guys. We'll try to answer some questions. I know Noto and Bobby will love to answer a season-long question if you guys have it. We're only going to do one. That's our segment. We do one only, but that's how it goes. Okay, running back position. We've got some pretty good, per usual, the running back positions usually are the best plays and also the chalkiest, but the chalk that we're usually on board with, and that's Achane. All of us have loved Achane all season long so far. Feels like he's a little bit, discounted to Joe Mixon. Feels like he's just a smash play against New England. Running backs go off against the Pats, good running backs, I'll say. And then so he's in play. Joe Mixon, the best running back in the league this year. It's been crazy. He's in that high stakes season long. Dean, who I share a team with for my friends and with these high stakes people. Dean drafted Mixon. So shout out to Dean. We're crushing it. Brian Robinson gets the coveted matchup against Dallas. Team's just running all over Dallas. Game script looks to be correct, for him. He's not going to catch many passes, but he's there. James Conner, another one of my boys that I like. Kareem Hunt is probably the easiest play on the board, right? 5,700. Pacheco's still gone, and Carolina. And he should just see all the snaps and all the rushing attempts. And Kansas City should have probably win this game pretty easily. So this could be a good game script for him. And I don't know. Those are the chalky ones. Then we've got other guys to talk about. But Noto, who'd you write up for your key personnel this week?
Yeah, I got Kareem Hunt tag. Pretty obvious play there. He's kind of priced as a backup, and Pacheco's still out, facing probably the worst run defense in the NFL in the Panthers, and the Chiefs coming off of a loss. So they're going to take their anger out on the Panthers. We've seen the Chiefs, they haven't run as many trick plays down there at the goal line. They're just lining up. They're giving it to Hunt, and he's scoring a bunch of touchdowns. So I do like him. I love Achane. I love that game, like I mentioned in the intro. I think you can play him with Tyreek, assuming the Dolphins finally have a good, offensive game. I think they will this week against the Pats. So I like Achane quite a bit. Curious to hear your thoughts on McCaffrey now that Purdy's out. Do we think he gets a bigger workload but not as efficient, or I don't know, because we do have a lot of salary to spend up on DraftKings. So I kind of want to get to McCaffrey, but wanted to hear your thoughts there. I think Brian Robinson at home against the Cowboys is a pretty good play. I like Kenneth Walker quite a bit too. I think a lot of people are going to be playing the passing game for Seattle. I like Walker a little bit more than the passing game. But yeah, Bobby, what about you?
Yeah, so of the chalk running backs, I think the chalk we have is Kareem Hunt, Achane, Robinson, and I guess you could say Connor and Joe Mixon. Kareem Hunt's definitely my favorite, especially with Pacheco being ruled out. I just think first Carolina, positive game script. The usage has been pretty incredible. His price tag is, what's he priced at? He is priced 5,700. So I'm playing the chalk running back at 5,700. I just think that's been hitting enough. We've seen it work, so I'm fine with that. Devin Achane, 7,500. I'm playing Achane, but I'll probably be under the field in Achane. Maybe go to some 2 in the passing game, Tyreek, etc. Tyreek's going to get going eventually. But definitely, if I was playing cash, I'd have Achane. Brian Robinson, same deal at 5,600 to Kareem Hunt, except I'm not playing as much. I think Hunt, between him and Hunt's a much better play than Robinson. I know Dallas has been leaking on the ground, but I don't know. I like Jaden Daniels stacks on the slate, and you could pair Robinson with Daniels, but I just think I'd like to get to McLaurin and Ertz with Daniels more than I would like to get to Robinson. James Conner at 6,500, same thing. I like Kyler. I like Trey McBride. I like the passing game. So probably be under on Conner. Mixon, same thing. I like CJ Stroud. I like Nico Collins. Will I play Mixon? Yeah, but probably going to be under the field. Tournaments, Ramondre Stevenson at 5,900. I like a good bit versus Tua. That would be I think he would probably be the running back that I'm going to have the most exposure to in that game, where everyone's just kind of going to go to Achane. I'm just going to play the Tua passing game. Is Amir Abdullah in play at 4,300? No,
maybe. Yeah,
I think he's actually in play. Not that I want to play him versus Denver, but he's 4,300. I think he's someone you have to consider. No Kenneth Walker for me. I know you liked Walker. No. I like Jonathan Taylor at 7,100. Just basically with Richardson under center in that Detroit line, in the Detroit Indy game. It's in a dome. Richardson's good. Richardson's going to be pretty chalky, and I just think the Taylor side's interesting for tournaments. McCaffrey at 8,500. I'll probably play McCaffrey because I don't think he's going to be as high owned as he probably should be now that we have this 4K QB, and I feel like they're going to have to lean on him. So I like McCaffrey. Yeah.
So let's talk about that the Raiders situation. With Zamir White and Madison both out. Yep. This they got a guy here. They've got a duo. They got a guy that I don't know. I haven't even heard of before, but Dylan Lube seems right up Bobby's alley. I don't know, Bobby. What do you think of that?
With the Lou, what's his name? I missed that joke.
Lube?
Christopher, I missed that joke. Dylan Lube would be right up my alley. Is that what you?
Yeah, it sounds like you'd be right up your alley.
Oh, interesting. No, I've never heard of him. Yeah.
Because the beat writer is saying that he's supposed to be a big part of the game plan. But so right now, he's projecting for like anywhere from like 6 to 7 fantasy points, depending on who you're looking at. And Abdullah is like 10 to 12. Abdullah at least has.
Abdullah gets it in the passing game.
Yeah.
I think he scored a receiving touchdown last week. I don't know, 4,300. If Abdullah was like 5'7", I would not be playing him. But because he's 4,300, like I can play him. It's not like he's 3K like we used to get on DK previously, but
so thanks for chat. I guess it's not Lube, it's Lobby.
We're gonna get killed for the names, not knowing the names.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know this guy. Like I'm first in Laub.
Right. Laub. Okay, we got lots of pronunciations.
That's how they say. That's how they say lube in Canada. That's how. TJ, get in here. Tell you got any running back favorite plays?
Yeah, I'm considering having Devon Achane just being the most expensive I go here because there's so many cheap ones I like. I did have guys like Kenneth Walker, James Conner, Christian McCaffrey originally in consideration, but I'm thinking about just going cheaper. Achane as the only guy above 6K, even let alone 7K, and then focusing in on Kareem Hunt, Brian Robinson Jr., and Bucky Irving is my top 3 guys. I really love Bucky Irving in this spot. And then Brian Robinson as well. Same with Kareem. The only other guys I'm really considering that heavily are Amir Abdullah at 43, Javonte Williams at 5'2". And then I don't hate the idea of a Baker Mayfield stack this week. And so if I'm doing that, I want to pair him with Rashad White instead of Irving at 54.
That's what I was thinking. Blender killed me for that take, by the way. Yeah, but we didn't talk about Detroit running backs. Like Gibbs and Montgomery.
Smash.
Yeah. Like I would rather just pay for the cheap running backs, get up to McCaffrey and the Detroit guys rather than play a lot of the chalk, I guess.
Feels
what about not electric Josh Jacobs?
I like him just because of what you got to figure. You got to figure that the game script is going to favor him. With I don't know. I don't know if I would. Were you looking at a bring back for your 4K?
I'm not sure which 4K I'm going with yet. Probably play both, but
maybe your 4K Abdullah and just say no 4K QB.
Yeah. So speaking of 4K, Tommy Cutlets, but what about Tyrone Tracy? So this is still a very good matchup against Tampa Bay. They've been giving it up to running backs all season. He's been very good.
He's not 4K though. He's 6K.
I know. I'm just saying for a running back play. No interest?
No, he's been great. I don't mind it.
Bobby?
I don't like it.
I will veto him, and then
what about
goes off? I'll just.
What about Tony Pollard without Tajay Spears?
Yeah, I mean, just massive usage. That's never going to stop. So I'm cool with him just from a usage standpoint. There's blowout risk, sure.
Pollard or Ramondre Stevenson? I like Pollard for what it's worth.
I'd probably go Pollard.
Yeah.
I think I like Ramondre.
Yeah. Little divisional action.
Ramondre's getting all the touches there too. And then they leak to the pass. They leak to the running back in the passing game, Miami. So
I could see it. I don't have a strong take between them two. So I could lean for your advice there. Yeah, but talk about Jacobs. No, I definitely like him.
Yeah, San Fran's kind of been a run funnel this year, playing at home. They could be playing with the lead in this one now that Purdy's out. So I think Jacobs sneaky. I think he could get 20 touches here. Nobody ever likes to play him because he's Josh Jacobs.
Has he caught a touchdown yet?
He has. He broke the streak.
Good for him. I feel like Dean, if he got enough attempts, could get one.
Oh, Dean, like Refrigerator Perry?
Yeah, I mean, Jacobs has had 20 plus in 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, anyone off the board? Like, there's like a ton of like plays with absolutely zero like ownership.
Amir Abdullah.
The JT call was interesting from Bobby.
I could get behind that. Always get behind JT. Why not?
Always get behind it.
Yeah. Justin Timberlake. That's what we're
With
talking
lube
about.
or no lube?
All right. So let's just sum it up. It's gonna be heavy chalk because of this range is just so cheap and really good solid plays. Kareem Hunt is just a smash play against Carolina, best matchup. Brian Robinson gets the second best matchup in a game where the game script should fit him perfectly. James Conner and Kenneth Walker are in play. Joe Mixon's in play. McCaffrey is kind of scary now at 8,500 without a competent quarterback, but I wouldn't be shocked either if they just feed him all game long. And
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're just going to feed him, and I want to steal TJ's advice on Brandon Allen that he stole from Rich Rebar, and it's that quarterbacks under Kyle Shanahan always play well. So if he's competent and they're drawing stuff up to McCaffrey, which I would imagine that's what they're going to do, McCaffrey is going to eat, and everyone's going to play Achane, James Conner, Joe Mixon, and we get McCaffrey at relatively low ownership getting pretty much all the usage. So that's why I'm trending towards getting to more McCaffrey.
all right. Let's head over to QB. So from an ownership standpoint, it looks like Anthony Richardson. This is kind of a crazy one because Anthony Richardson went off against the Jets. And I played him. And now he gets the Lions. And like, yes, the Lions have high game totals, but their defense is really solid too, and they just whoop opponents. So yeah, you're banking on garbage time, and you want all the floor of the rushing success. But if they're down early a lot, are they going to be? Is he going to be like risking himself running a bunch in the game? I don't know. But also they have offensive line problems this week, so this could be buyer beware. But I get it. Geno Smith is up there for ownership. It's because they're both right there, the same price, 56 and 5,700. I know you guys are talking about paying up for Jaden Daniels, 7K. Tua, good matchup against the Patriots. Gonzalez is iffy to play. Is that true? I read that somewhere. So
he overrated.
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think he's good. I mean, I don't think he's the best ever.
They make him out to be like the second coming of Revis, and he just got torched last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. Their team in general stinks. But speaking of which, can we play some Drake May?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Yeah, like that's a nice stack to make, I think. And I know Noto was talking about that too. And then I want your guys' takes on Tommy Cutlets and Brandon Allen. We got to figure out if we're playing both one of these or none of these. So, Bobby, you start us off with QBs.
Yeah, so Richardson, I'm fine playing. I would pair him with Alec Pierce if possible. The way you can beat Detroit's defense is getting deep, and Alec Pierce is going to get deep. All his routes are going to be deep, and it's also the only way Anthony Richardson can really complete a pass is on the deep ball. So I like him with Pierce a good bit for larger field stuff. Jaden Daniels, I think, is super strong. You can pair him with literally whoever, McLaurin, Ertz, pair him with Brian Robinson. I think Daniels is a fine play. Tua, like that's where I like you can play Tua with Achan, obviously, but Tyreek eventually has to get going. Like maybe he's lost a step, but this is definitely a get right spot versus New England. So I like Tua Tyreek stacks. My favorite QB on the slate is Kyler. Like just getting Kyler and McBride. It's leverage off of the high end tight end and Kelsey. It's leverage off of James Conner. You can play Marvin Harrison in that stack at low ownership, and there's pretty good run backs on the Seattle side with guys like Metcalf, Lockett, and JSN. Or if you guys, I know you guys like Kenneth Walker as well. So Kyler's probably my favorite. CJ Stroud's in the mix with Nico Collins. Like we saw on Showdown the other night, I know Mixon was egregious chalk and everyone played him and he hit, but he very well could have not hit because CJ Stroud threw that 70-yard touchdown, the screen pass to Nico that he took to the house and they called back I was on the other side of that. I played a ton of Nico Collins and just faded Mixon.
Yeah, but Mixon hit no matter what. Mixon hit the first play of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at 30% ownership, like I took more.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying he did. He was hitting regardless of whether Nico was just.
I've never seen. I feel like Mixon's like coming into a situation where he's been in the league for so long, and this is the best I've ever seen him. And how old is he? Like in his mid. Like Mixon's fine. I'm not saying he's bad. I like CJ Stroud stacks. Mahomes.
He's got some good juice.
Yeah, all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, Mahomes. What'd you say?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Mahomes, Kelsey, Worthy. I like that. Yeah, it's pretty much where I'm at QB. Like, there's not Drake May. I think is definitely fine with Hunter Henry and Ramondre Stevenson. The Brandon Allen situation is going to be interesting because I think that there is, like, that's how you play McCaffrey. You play a guy like Brandon Allen and you pair him with McCaffrey, and hopefully that's where all the usage goes. I'm not as big a fan as Tommy DeVito, but like where it's going. It's going to Neighbors, so I don't know.
Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah, Tommy Cutlets. That's pretty much quarterback for me.
All right, Noto. Why are we not just jamming Bo Nixon everywhere?
I mean, Bo Nix, he's been crushing. Great matchup against the Raiders. I love Cortland Sutton again this week, so I don't mind that call. I do like the Drake May stacks. Like we talked about, I do like Tommy DeVito a little bit more than Bobby. Just the whole Giants organization is just so tired of Daniel Jones. I think they're going to rally around DeVito. Pretty much the perfect spot for a backup quarterback to come in and make a start at home against the defense instead last in fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks. Tampa Bay doesn't get any pressure on the quarterback either. So I do like DeVito. I like pairing him up with Neighbors if he's active. Those are probably my favorite three. But yeah, Anthony Richardson, I tagged him, but I said don't play him in cash games, like play him in tournaments, even at high ownership, just because his range of outcomes is like between 10 and 30. You never really know what to expect from him. So I do like Richardson, but more of the tournament play. I wouldn't really look his way in cash games. And yeah, I don't know what to do with Brandon Allen. I'll probably just get CMC instead of Allen and then play DeVito at that same price.
I mean, DeVito had some very serviceable games last year when he came out strong right off the bat. I know he's rushed for he rushed for 71 yards against the Packers in a game. I get it. The weapons are a lot worse, but this Tampa Bay defense
so bad.
Stinks. It's so bad. Like even Tommy Cutlets, I think he's a much better play than Brandon Allen.
Yeah, I do too. Dude, what about Caleb Williams? He's been running a lot. Vikings blitz more than anybody, so he might be scrambling a lot. Love his receivers.
It's condensed out too that Keenan Allen's out, right? Isn't Keenan Allen
5,100?
Did Keenan Allen get injured or is he out?
Allen is questionable but expected to play.
Oh, he's expected to play.
Andrew in chat says Bobby and Kirky look like they could use some dunking. I said this at the beginning of the show. I woke up at 3 a.m. and watched UFC, and I sweated every NBA play till last. So I got like 2 hours of sleep last night. So yeah, good observation. Bobby has 2 kids.
I just was sleeping up until like 10 minutes before this this call. So
all right, let's do a group woo and let's get this thing going. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
woo.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That was pretty
I have a
good.
question. You guys like Bo Nix? I don't
Yes.
like Bo Nix as much. I like Sutton, but what about Minshew on the other side? You play him
What's not
without
to like
him.
about Bo Nix, though?
What's Minshew's ceiling?
He's 6,300 and Minshew's 48. So if you don't like one of these 4K quarterbacks, you can get away with Minshew, I guess.
I don't know,
Or you
under
can score
15.
you can take your 31 points from Bo Nix.
He's top 15 one time this year. I don't know about Minshew's ceiling.
You guys can poo-poo it. I'm fine with it.
I do like Caleb Williams. Though. He's
Just
only
throwing
51.
hypotheticals. It's just a hypothetical. Just a hypothetical.
That's what this show is. We're just spitballing here. Just a couple
Spitballing.
ideas, throwing them out there. See what works, what
Take
doesn't.
it out. You can throw it back at me. You know.
Yeah, that's what I
I
like
think
about this show.
I think it's Caleb.
We start getting in the grind mode from this show today.
So you're in a Caleb. Can I ask why? Because
Me?
I can do the deep dive and he stinks.
He stinks.
Yeah, but he's running a lot. 40 plus rushing yards, 3 of his last 5. Again, Minnesota blitzes more than anybody at home. It's a game where they're probably going to be trailing.
Is that a good thing or a bad
Yeah.
thing?
So I hear the blitz numbers, and I see for
Makes
like
me a little
most people.
scared.
Yeah, it makes me think he's going to suck because he can't.
He is pretty
he
bad
can't hit
against-
an open out route. He can't hit a wide open corner out route. It's
I'm saying for
ridiculous.
his rushing, I think he's going to be
Yeah.
running more. But
Imagine he asked for equity in the team.
did he?
Yeah. He wanted equity in the Chicago Bears for drafting him number 1. That was a contract request.
I mean, so here's my thought pattern for like all these cheap QBs we have. It's like you still have Bryce Young at 4,600 and Gardner Minshew, like Bobby said, at 4,800. Like what's so much different about these other guys than them? Then you know what I mean? Like we're not lining up to play Bryce Young or Gardner Minshew. I'll take Tommy Cutlets because Tampa Bay is awful, and plus he rushed some, but like it could absolutely blow up. Their offensive line is terrible.
Does he still have that agent?
Yeah, so that's the funny thing is that I have a friend from home, right, who's always on Twitter. I mean, always on Facebook, very active. He went to college with him and played on the Marist football team with the agent. So they were like always friends. He was always like shouting him out on things like he won like he made it to the Italian Football Hall of Fame or something in this state, and there was like he dresses like that he's always dressed like that. So I'm like one person away from him, you know what I mean? It was so I like actually couldn't believe it when they showed him, and it was like I've already seen. I'm like, where the hell did I see that guy before?
I was watching his flag football highlights the other day. It's pretty good. He could play for the Giants, you know.
Crazy. All right. And then what about like Mahomes? What if they just decide to be like, okay, Mahomes, get your numbers up?
There's just no run back on Carolina. Like we talked about Eric liking Carolina this week, and they have a 15-point team total, you know, and Eric's
I think run backs are out now. Like we don't need.
I don't think run backs are important, but if we want to see a ceiling and we want to see him pushed, like I would like something a little bit more than. I don't even know who their wide receivers are anymore. Deontay Johnson's with Baltimore, right? Adam Thielen's back. You can play him. Chuba's there. Xavier Legette. Like, are they going to score any points?
Brooks is playing this week, isn't he?
In comes
Yeah.
TJ. Sum it up and give us
TJ help.
Give us your QBs. Bring some energy, man. Like.
I mean, you want something crazy? I'm debating, like, depending on how college football goes today, maybe I'll do it with 150, but for at least 20 lineups, I might just go straight DeVito, Brandon Allen, nobody else at the QB position. Like, I might just run
TJ out, TJ leave.
We'll catch you next week, TJ. Thank you.
DeVito's got rushing upside, and Brandon Allen, like, who cares if he's a backup quarterback? He's got all the weapons in the world at minimum price. Like, all he has to do is throw screen passes.
This is what my argument was for Brandon Allen. You can stay, TJ. He can throw to McCaffrey. He can throw to Debo.
Yeah.
Shanahan, we're taking the Rich Rebar take on Allen that Shanahan's good with these QBs. Only one being that he wasn't good with is the kid in Dallas, who we've all forgot his name. He was the number one pick, but
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. So I'm fine with Braylon Allen over DeVito.
I'm on record. I would
Play
play
both. Play them both.
I would play Dean Chavelson over Brandon Allen. You heard it here first or second.
I would play Dean Chavelson at minimum price on the 49ers as well.
Don't the 49ers already have Dean Chavelson and Kyle Juszczyk?
I don't know. All right.
Look at the energy picking up.
Off the rails. We're heading there. Okay.
Read the
Wide receiver. Cortland Sutton, wide receiver 1 with a competent QB. Bo Nix is playing legit good football. They're against Las Vegas, who just gives up a ton of offensive production. 5,800 feels like a steal. He's going to be very popular. Jacoby Myers' price has come down after last week. He is the obvious run back on the other side, although Bowers too you could do obviously. So it's basically the mid-range is getting a lot of action here. So because it's like you can build an easy all mid-range because the good running backs are kind of mid-range too. So you can just make yourself have a really good feeling lineup with like Cortland Sutton, Myers, Calvin Ridley. JSN is in play. DK Metcalf. Obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown after, Dan Campbell is just willing to run up the score, and I love it. It's like he's playing point differential when nobody else is, but you got to love that for DFS. So you can always, even in the second half, that you're thinking oh, man, he doesn't have a touchdown yet. This game's over. He's still live to get that touchdown.
He threw on 4th and 6 for a TD last week, up 50 points.
I know, it's awesome.
We like that. We like
that. And Tyreek Hill, is he going to catch a deep ball this week? Noto.
Yeah, Tyreek's my guy this week. You look at Las Vegas; they have the 3rd worst pressure rate on the slate. I think Tua's going to have a bunch of time, and Tyreek's going to have a breakout game soon. I know he's dealing with that hand, wrist injury, whatever it is, but shouldn't stop his speed. So I like him. CD Lamb's kind of popping in a lot of the models. Interested to hear you guys take there. It's a game where they're probably going to be trailing. No Jake Ferguson. I know Cooper Rush has been inconsistent, but he had a pretty big game last week. So 7,300 for Lamb kind of feels a little too cheap. Love the Sutton call. Going to be playing a ton of him. And yeah, I don't know what to do with the Arizona-Seattle game. I kind of just want to play the running backs and not worry about the passing game. But Bobby, who are some of your favorites?
CeeDee Lamb is my favorite on the slate. I know he's tied to Cooper Rush, but I think actually you can even play some Cooper Rush. We didn't talk about him at quarterback, but CeeDee Lamb is by far my favorite play on the slate at the wide receiver position. Pittman and Sutton I'm going to be under on, not full fading, but going to be not Pittman, sorry, Cortland Sutton and Myers I'm going to be under on. I'm actually going to play some Pittman at 5,300. Price tag's just too cheap. I know Richardson is Richardson, but Pittman's going to get going eventually. Nico Collins, I want to be over on. Amon-Ra, Tyreek. I'm going to be playing some Noah Brown, 4,200. Yeah. Oh, see what else we have. Justin Jefferson at 9%. The high-end wide receivers and McCaffrey is what I want to play on the slate and just be under on all the chalk. That's how I'm. So maybe I'm going to have to play one of those low, cheap.
The thing is, with wide receiver, it seems like there's so much in the mid-range that they can't all be chalk. You know what I mean? There's just we can go to Pittman. We can go to Hopkins. There's just so many in this mid-range. It's weird week.
I just think Sutton and Myers are going to be over-owned relative to their chances of being optimal. And I could just play CD at under 10%, find a way to pay up to CD at under 10%, find a way to get up to Tyreek Hill, find a way to get to Jefferson. You know what I mean? Not all.
Nico Collins looked good.
I can rotate them through. Yeah, Nico Collins as well, 7,600. I think I would rather play Nico in a Ramondre Stevenson team. No, sorry, that's not a good example. I think I'd rather play Nico than if everyone's just going to play Achane, maybe I just play Nico. I don't know. Or just one of these high-end guys. Tyreek would be the actual pivot because it's leverage against Achane, but I don't know. Yeah, I like the high-end receivers on the slate.
I do too, Bobby.
So it's your favorite is CD. You like Nico? Do you like Amon-Ra and Jefferson?
Yeah, Amon-Ra, Jefferson. It's just a matter of like, or how am I going to find the salary to play these guys? I'm just getting away from this 5K tier at the receiver position. That's Myers and Cortland Sutton. I know Sutton's been fantastic, but I don't know. I just feel like if he's going to be 24% owned, I want to be under that. If Myers,
I haven't heard any. I saw someone in chat just mention Mike Evans. Isn't it like Mike Evans? Don't we only have like a narrative like forever? Mike Evans is like always nukes against the Giants. Does that ring a bell for anybody?
But my thing is like you have to know what the playing time is going to be with Evans, right?
And that hamstring injury just scares me.
Yeah.
Let me see his numbers.
We didn't talk about Neighbors and Tank Dell. Like I think these guys are firmly.
Yeah, he scored 48 fantasy points one week with 3 tutties one time.
So 20, 16, 48, 33, 18, 25 fantasy points.
Sounds pretty good.
I like Roma Dunze a lot. Again, I like Caleb Williams a little bit, but over the last 4 games, he's leading the team in air yards, tied for the team lead in target share, and he's only 4,800, so I like him quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a good price on Rome too, 4,800.
And Keenan Allen is banged up at least.
Yeah. Question about the Patriots. Who's your favorite Patriots receiver?
It'd probably be Hunter Henry, but Douglas would be the non-tight end pass catcher that I like. And then I think Ramondre is also in play in May stacks. Like, I think you can get away with doubling May. And I think a lot of people just play him with 1. I think you'd play him with 2.
What about okay, so Bourne or Booty?
So I was just looking up their numbers. Bourne only ran around on 40% dropbacks last week, so I'd be a little cautious to buy into that because he got that long touchdown. I'll take Booty.
I'm with Noto. I'll take the Booty. Give me the Booty. I want the Booty.
Bunch of Booty guys. All right. We have anyone else that we didn't mention? I mean, there's so many in this mid range that
Calvin Ridley's going to be popular. Do you guys like him?
I do.
He's been getting a ton of targets.
I did like him, but he's like still gonna gain ownership, and he's in like that mid-tier receiver range that I just don't want to play when I want to spend up. I got to find cheap receivers.
Or what about Jennings now? He was going to be popular now.
There's no reason. I think a lot of Jennings is good, but I think a lot of his success is like Purdy really likes to throw the ball to him, so and just be skeptical. There's a guy in the 5K that I think gets overlooked. I think that's Xavier Worthy. Blender, shout out to Blender yesterday pointing out.
All right, I have some analysis on him.
He stinks.
He stinks.
Okay.
He can't keep his feet in bounds.
He's electric, though.
He's electric. Speed. He's electric speed. Who was the guy that they had from the Giants? It was like the same thing that he didn't work out in the Giants and they signed him. I'm just drawing a blank. It's too early for me. I was up all night. I'm going to throw one more. What's that? Say that?
Come back in.
Tony.
Yes. Very similar to me. Worthy and Kadarius Toney.
Tony was good for like that Dallas game. Like
both electric.
Terrible.
But like just make stupid drops and like they can't keep their feet in bounds. How
much money does it cost you not keeping his feet in bounds?
I mean, I don't know. It's obvious. If I still remember it, it was something severe, you know.
Yeah.
I always remember the bad breaks, one of the good ones.
Like you once you're on my bad side, it's tough to get off.
I've been on it for a long time now. I know.
Telling me, Bobby, come on, we're buds.
We haven't had any arguments before the show. Last year, before every show, 15-minute argument between you two.
We just don't talk. We just don't need to. As long as we don't talk politics or health. I'm
back on the Celtics, Kirk.
Or Celtics.
Oh, okay. So he's back on the Celtics.
Yeah, I have to be there. They won, so I have to root for the best team.
I mean, they're just such a tier above everybody else. Anyways, all right. But there's more plays in here. There's like Josh Downs. There's Jaden Reed, who's supposed to be they're saying that San Francisco is going to have to blitz now, and he's the first read on blitzes for Green Bay. Jaden Reed only 5,900. Like, there is so much upside in this mid range, and ownership besides those few top chalk guys, like the other guys aren't coming in so bad because there's so many of them. So like I don't know, you can still make, like, if you concentrate on not playing Sutton or Myers, you can still be fine ownership wise and just jam in a lot of these other plays that have high upside that are typical wide receiver ones, like even like Pittman, 5,300.
Yeah, Pittman and Downs are great at their price. I'm fine. I like them. I think I prefer them to getting to the chalkier mid-tier plays, but it's just like they're attached to Anthony Richardson. It's a fantastic matchup for Downs. Can he throw the ball to him in the slot where he should be pretty wide open versus this Detroit team? I don't know. So I don't know.
All right, let's move it on over. Tight end time. Travis Kelce's leading the way, 5,800. Probably don't need to go to ham with him because, like, this seems like a game that they should this is the Kareem Hunt game of all games. And you saw, like, just the other night, he was terrible in Buffalo, and maybe it feels like he's going to need to get like the first or second touchdown to have a good DFS day. And if he doesn't, he's probably not going to have a good DFS day to me. So I'm fine fading him personally, but Hunter Henry, we talked about 4K. I mean, he's basically their number one receiver. So there's that. There's Brock Bowers, who's just getting target after target, coming off a 34 fantasy point week in Miami. 16 freaking targets. Like, if you give Dean Shavelson 16 freaking targets, the guy's going to be fantasy relevant.
Killed with 16 targets over the middle. It'd be like, what's that movie, Varsity Blues?
It used to be Chop getting the.
I've moved on. Every year with somebody new. Jonnu Smith, it's been Tua's like safety, another 31-point fantasy game against Las Vegas last week. 8 targets, but the targets are legit. He's had like 6 to 8 targets in basically every game. 5 out of his last 6 games, and some high value targets, a lot of end zone stuff. So I like him. Hawkinson is back in our lives. He's cheap, 4,200. Like, he's kind of like the forgotten man. If Mike Evans isn't really healthy to go, Cade Otton steps up as a number. Bobby will not play Cade Otton at 5,500, especially you can't play him at 5,500, Bobby.
No, he's cost me too much money.
Yeah, you can't give in now.
I talked about it with Blender yesterday, and I've redunk it, and I will not be doing that.
But Noto, who are the guys you like?
Yeah, so I like Schoonmaker a little bit on DraftKings. 2,500, no Ferguson, 10 targets last week.
You would like Schoonmaker, $2,500 tight end, 4K QB. I can build your team right now.
If you play those two,
best tight end play on the slate. Noto's right. Right.
If you play him with the 4K quarterback and a cheap defense, you got 6,800 per player. You can take whoever you want. So I like him a little bit. I like Hunter Henry. I think he's probably my favorite. If I'm spending up, I'll probably go Trey McBride. And then Zach Ertz. Nobody ever plays Zach Ertz. Just continues to get some pretty deep targets. I do worry about Dallas not being competitive, but yeah. What about you guys?
Zach Ertz and Hunter Henry are my 2 favorite plays at the tight end position. Last week, I made a call on the show. I said the Bills were going to beat the Chiefs. Today, I'm going to make another call on the show. Hunter Henry is going to get a touchdown. I know it's not as great of a call, but Hunter Henry gets in the box. Bet that. Bet is Hunter Henry scoring tomorrow. Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz.
Wait, you're coming off of your guarantee last week that the Bills would win, and you won.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson, I like at 4,200 a good bit. Same with Laporta at 43. I think these guys kind of get lost in the shuffle, and I know it's Laporta's first game back, but I don't know. He's Sam Laporta. He was getting going before the injury, so I'm fine with Laporta.
How the hell do you play a Denver tight end? You can't.
I don't even know the names of the Denver tight ends.
It's Troutman, Nate Adkins, Lucas Kroll.
Yeah,
You don't need to do that.
But that matchup is insane. Like, and I guarantee you, one of these guys is going to score.
these guys, you guys have kind of sold me on Schoonmaker 2,500. I can do that. Trey McBride, I prefer to Kelsey. Like if I'm spending up, Trey McBride's 56, Kelsey's 58. Kelsey's going to be over 20%. McBride's going to be around 10. Like I'd just rather play McBride. Let everyone play Kelsey.
Got a question about tight end with Tommy DeVito. Just looking through his game logs last year, doesn't target the tight ends very often.
He can only go to one guy, right?
Yeah.
He can go to one guy. It's Malik Neighbors. That's who you can go to. Like if he goes to Wandale, is Wandale going to kill us? No. So
Slayton could rip one.
yeah, Slayton. I forgot about Slayton.
Yeah, what this show has done for me, I'm kind of sold on Tommy Cutlets. Might have to cook up some chicken cutlets tonight to get ready for
chicken cutlets last night.
Of course, you probably have it. You eat it every day, Bobby. That's like freaking water in your household.
Yeah, you're right.
It isn't. It is, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, we have it a lot.
It's good though. There's nothing better. All right. I mean, we don't need TJ to tell us the Schoonmaker's the best play.
Yeah, he did.
We'll keep him. I don't need to bring him back in anymore. All right, let's talk about defense. Bobby, you got the defense for the week?
Yep.
What do we got?
Packers at 28. No, I'm not playing the Packers. I actually like Brandon Allen. Packers will probably be owned, I would imagine. Shit. I'm gonna go no. I like CeeDee Lamb too. I can't do that. Yeah, don't like that. Oh,
I mean, they might be.
Go to Noto. I need to think through
the
this.
Broncos look pretty tasty to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite spend up the Broncos. Favorite cheap the Bears at home against Darnold. Darnold
He's falling off a cliff. Like people
Bears
were
talking.
People were talking MVP. They're like saying things.
Is Josh Allen going to win MVP now?
I can't imagine. Is he?
After he beat the
Chiefs? It has to be him or Lamar, right?
It's going to be Lamar, no?
I think it's pretty close now.
I think the Bills are going to come out of the AFC.
Allen has not played well.
But they beat the Chiefs,
Yeah.
And Amari Cooper really hasn't got going in that offense yet. I haven't picked a defense. I don't know. I'm going to go the Titans. Let's go the Titans. No, I hate that too, but they're 2,300. I'll play the Titans. I don't even care.
Josh Allen, current favorite for MVP.
That's shocking to me.
Plus 125. You can get Lamar at plus 200.
It's because they lost to the Steelers. Anyways, all right, let's build a lineup. We're starting with Tommy Cutlets.
We're going with Cutlets, yeah. Neighbors, Cutlets, Neighbors.
Let's go.
All right, 1 second. So we got DeVito. We've got Neighbors. Let's pick some running backs.
Should we take Kareem Hunt?
Are we you say fade?
He's the one shot guy.
Take Kareem Hunt.
There's no way he's busting, right? This week.
Yeah.
No, take Kareem Hunt.
We got to have someone a little off the board. What are we thinking? Bobby, you kind of were sold on McCaffrey, is that right?
I was.
Not anymore.
You want somebody off the board and you're playing Tommy DeVito? It's Bucky Irving season.
Not doing that in 100, man. No way.
What about Mixon? I don't think Mixon's going to be as popular as we have.
What about Pollard or Ramondre? I don't know. You guys can make it.
What about just Monty again
Can we fit
or Gibbs?
we fit Tyreek and CD in there? Just get 2 expensive receivers at low ownership.
Let's just play Gibbs in the dome. No,
I'm fine with Gibbs, but we might have to lose Hunt according to my Sims.
in the 100-man we have to.
Oh no, you don't have to in 100-man. This is for large field. That's a good point.
All right, so we got that going. How do we feel about wide receiver, Chuck? So we got Neighbors in there. Do we want to load in some chalk? Do we want Cortland Sutton because he's a smash or no?
How
We're
about
fading one of Myers or Sutton no matter what.
I have a team.
All right, go shoot it.
DeVito, Kareem Hunt, Jahmyr Gibbs, Malik Neighbors, Nico Collins, DK Metcalf, Shoemaker, Jaden Reed, and someone else.
Love it. I like it. That's our team.
You could do Theo Johnson, but we've come to the conclusion that he doesn't throw to the tight end. So,
all right. Well, there it is. No UFC this week for me because I was ended over this morning. Any final words? Anything we got to? Should we give a teaser or anything? What do we got, Noto?
Oh man, it's the week of the Tommy Cutlets. Let's go. Tommy with Goonmaker. Just do
I
whatever
can't believe you guys are gonna make me play fucking Tommy Cutlets. Oh, I can't swear. Sorry, it's YouTube.
Tampa Bay. The last thing. I mean, just hold your hat on the fact that Tampa Bay's defense is Swiss cheese.
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine for what it's worth.
Same thing happened in New Orleans. Like he's going to be all right at first. I think he's going to shoot a runoff. The crowd's going to be electric.
You'll see the agent in the box.
Yeah, we'll be eating chicken cutlets,
spaghetti palm.
Yeah. All right, that's a wrap. So thank you all chat for being here. Thank you for watching us on YouTube. And
hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't leave any mean comments.
Yeah, it hurts our feelings, right?
We read the comments, guys. We read what you guys say about us.
We're trying. All right. Well, thank you. It's the RG DFS Tournament Takes podcast, week 12 edition, and we will be back once again next week for week 13. Thank you.